Did you hear a child laughing at 1:25 a.m. on this eerie August 21st, 2025? A red pulse breaking the silence of your bedroom that sends a chill down your spine? This emergency broadcast reveals a horror masquerading in innocence, where psychologically, it's auditory pareidolia tricking your brain into hearing voices that aren't there. And a 2025 study shows 81% feel an unsettling dread when night brings such sounds. Is a spectral mimic lurking? Subscribe now to face this mystery. Is an echoing giggle pulsing from that sound? The hallway darkening with an unnatural hum that makes your heart race as you back away in fear? This broadcast drags you into a psychological abyss where fear conditioning links that laugh to terror. And the 2025 study warns 81% feel a disquieting presence when the night mimics a child. Could a spectral mimic be drawing near? Stay tuned for more. Did a haunting chuckle echo from that laugh? The attic trembling with a presence that freezes your blood as you tremble in its glow? This emergency plunges you into a psychological trap where auditory pareidolia distorts your sense of safety. And the 2025 study confirms 81% sense an otherworldly entity when the night deceives. Is a spectral mimic revealing itself? Don't miss the next twist. Does Hear Me pulse from that sinister glee? The basement echoing with a hum that feels like a call from the void as you press against the wall? This broadcast locks you in a psychological cage where fear conditioning ties that laugh to panic. And the 2025 study notes 81% dread when the night issues such commands. Could a spectral mimic be demanding attention? Subscribe now. Is a faceless shadow laughing from that sound? The yard drenched in rain that heightens your dread as you back away from this eerie night? This emergency thrusts you into a psychological vortex where auditory pareidolia turns innocence into terror. And the 2025 study warns 81% feel a ghostly presence. Could a spectral mimic be stalking? Stay with us. Why does a warping giggle pulse from that laugh? The balcony shaking with an otherworldly hum that threatens to pull you into the storm. This broadcast drags you into a psychological nightmare where fear conditioning amplifies your panic. And the 2025 study reveals 81% feel pursued when the sound distorts. Could a spectral mimic be closing in? Keep watching. Did a glowing chuckle rise from that laugh? The wall trembling with an unseen force that floods your mind with fear in this damp space. This emergency locks you in a psychological abyss where auditory pareidolia heightens your dread of the unknown. And the 2025 study warns 81% sense a spectral gaze. Could a mimic be watching? Subscribe now. Does Stay Here pulse from that dark command? The window rattling with a sinister laugh that traps you as you reinforce your defense? This broadcast traps you in a psychological snare where fear conditioning binds you to terror. 2025 study confirms 81% dread such orders. Could a spectral mimic be controlling you? Don't miss it. Is a reaching shadow laughing from that sound? The night roaring with a storm that blinds you as you shield yourself from this eerie laugh? This emergency drags you into a psychological hell where auditory pareidolia turns every giggle into a threat. And the 2025 study warns 81% feel ensnared. Could a spectral mimic be near? Stay tuned. Is a figure emerging from that laugh? The radio crackling with an unearthly rhythm that fills this room with dread as you step back. This broadcast locks you in a psychological cage where fear conditioning shatters your calm. And the 2025 study notes 81% feel hunted when the night reveals such forms. Could a spectral mimic be free? Keep watching. Why does a towering shadow wail from that glee? The forest echoing with a desolate laugh that freezes you as you crouch in hiding. This emergency thrusts you into a psychological vortex where auditory pareidolia consumes your hope. And the 2025 study warns 81% feel doomed. Could a spectral mimic be winning? Subscribe for more. Is a growing shadow pulsing from that cry? The porch trembling with an ominous laugh that drives you back in panic? This broadcast traps you in a psychological abyss where fear conditioning ends your peace. And the 2025 study warns 81% feel their end. Could a spectral mimic be rising? Don't stop now. Did a faint whisper ripple from that laugh? The cellar darkening with an unseen presence that terrifies you as you hide in the shadows? This emergency locks you in a psychological snare where auditory pareidolia heightens your terror. And the 2025 study warns 81% sense a spectral sound. Could a mimic be calling? Stay with us. Is a cracking shadow breaking from that laugh? The rooftop trembling with an eerie cadence that drives you to crawl away in fear. This broadcast drags you into a psychological hell where fear conditioning shatters your sanity. And the 2025 study confirms 81% fear collapse. Could a spectral mimic be breaking through? Subscribe now. Does laughter ends pulse with a towering shadow from that final echo? The abyss swallowing your last hope as you collapse under this relentless sound at midnight. This emergency broadcast traps you in a psychological abyss where auditory pareidolia seals your fate. And the 2025 study warns 81% feel their end when the laugh prevails. Could a spectral mimic claim you? Watch the full horror now